Hello and a very good afternoon to all our Facebook viewers, and thank you for joining me in this live interaction. Well, today I will be discussing about how India will be countering China's wolf warrior approach, which it terms to be very aggressive at this point of time when it is already earning a lot of flack from the global community over its aggressive posturing along the line of actual control. Well, a new report suggests that China is employing the wolf warrior diplomacy, and in line with this strategy, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has yet again put India in bad light. And India too is not far behind, because Narendra Modi government is considering new ways to counter China and ensuring that troops are back to their peacetime locations. So in this News 9 Facebook Live, we also have with us Mr. Praful Bakshi, a defense analyst and also a retired wing commander, who will help us decode China's new strategy and what India can do to counter it. And before we get to our guests, let us tell you what the ground situation in Ladakh is currently. So China is currently acting contrary to its claim last week, which on Monday China had claimed that its main priority is to maintain a peaceful relationship with India. And in its statement, China said, for the India-China relationship, the two sides should jointly safeguard peace and security in the border areas and also maintain a sound development of bilateral ties. But contrary to China's public posture that building trust with India is one of its diplomatic priorities, the PLA continues to sit on the green top of the Finger 4 area on the north bank of Pangong Lake. So this position of Chinese will give it a dominant sweep from Finger 3 to Finger 8, and this is totally unacceptable. So now joining me on this Facebook Live is Mr. Praful Bakshi, a wing commander, like I mentioned earlier. Thank you a lot for joining us on this Facebook Live interaction, sir. And my first question today is, should the world believe any of China's claims or statements of peace which it has made so far and it is about to make in the nearest future as well?
Well, the question which you have asked, if you ask each country which is involved with China, they'll say no.
Right.
Nobody wants to believe China, whether it is America, whether it is England, UK, France, all the littoral states around China, Philippines, Malaysia, Taiwan, Australia, Indonesia, Brunei, all countries, they just don't want to believe what China is, what China's statement is, and what China's action. They are all against it. It's contrary to everybody's interest. So how can anybody even agree with China, except those who have a grudge against India, or like Pakistan or Nepal or something like that? I don't think so there's anybody with China.
Also, Mr. Praful, I would like to ask you is, why has China constantly targeted the Finger 4 area? Because China demolished a permanent structure it had built in 2014 and 15 after the Indian side strongly objected to such construction. And the demolition by China underlined the mutual understanding between India and China as well. And China even believed that it had constructed that permanent structure on the Indian side. So why are they transgressing into this area even after acknowledging the fact that this particular area belongs to India?
Very fact, you said that they demolished a structure, but they did not demolish the road which they built. That is also within Indian territory. And the Pangong Lake is very close to Chushul Valley, which is strategically very important for China. And this is south of Galwan. If you dominate this, then you dominate Galwan. If your forces are strong in Pangong so is the lake. And they want to dominate the entire area. And why they want to dominate the entire area? Because in the downs, if you look towards the POK, from there, then all the border BRO projects, the China-Pakistan economic corridor, everything is connected to this. So if you control Pangong Lake area, you control Galwan area, then your area, all the land, the road which is from Karakoram to Gadar is safe. And you can dominate the Daulat Beg Oldie airfield also. So that is why there has been a constant struggle. Chinese say that in all these agreements and discussions, Pangong Tso is not included. That is what their stand is. That is what, when we are supposed to be from Finger 1 to Finger 4, they are supposed, And from 5 to 8, we are supposed to do joint patrolling, 4 to 8, which China has stopped us. China has made a bunker, China has made a moat, and they don't want us to do because they don't want to us to dominate that area. And that is what China wants to do. And China is showing everything on the ground that it will do something, but does not. The words don't translate in actual action. So they are not going to move out from there, and they know very well that we are only wanting to do discussions and discussions and discussions. That is favorable for China, and that's what they want to do.
And also, sir, now that China has already transgressed into the Finger 4 area, they say that Chinese troops will get a clean sweep or a dominant sweep from Finger 3 to Finger 1. So, what kind of a strategic advantage does China get while transgressing into Finger 4 area?
Then when they have stopped us, they have stopped. In fact, at least we are there till Finger 4. Now they will even stop us from entering Finger 4. And they will take to 3 and 1, and it means they will totally stop us on that lake, that 135-kilometer long lake. It's a very, very important lake. 1/3 is with us and 2/3 is with China.
And also the routine patrolling has also been obstructed by this transgression, sir.
That's what they are doing. They are not allowing us from Finger 4 to 8, which was a joint patrolling earlier. They are not allowing us. See, basically China is doing what it wants to do. Now, the question is, we must start asking ourselves, when will we start doing what we want to do? If China understands the position of strength, Mao Zedong said, the power comes out from the barrel of the gun. And that's what they believe in. Right. And that's what they are trying to show to us. And that's what we are reluctant to do.
Also, sir, now the Chinese ministry has in turn asked India to, discipline our own troops. And it's also said that it has to probe the Galwan Valley incident and punish the violators. Well, this particular statement is supposed to be issued by the Indian Foreign Ministry. And why is China asking India to start a probe and punish the violators? If we have to punish the violators, it will be the Chinese troops. Would you agree with that, sir?
Why are you saying it now? Right. This should have been told to China earlier.
Right.
Why didn't the government tell China this? Why didn't this statement come earlier? This is what I'm asking you, that we are not even aggressive on television. Forget the land. So this is what we are, again, I'm telling you, that Chinese will do because they can do, and they can get away with it. In Hindi, there is a saying called "Ulta chor kotwal ko dante." Means it's a criminal who shouts at the sheriff and not the other way around. Huh. This is ridiculous. So this is what's happening. So a question I am again telling you, if we had taken action in May when they were entering, when we were getting the satellite reports, though you're getting late, of course it was our problem. We have paramilitary force out there, we have army out there, there's no coordination between the two, and this is our problem, in-house problem. And that's what, and then there was COVID, and we delayed the whole thing. Chinese had come in and they brought in 4 divisions. And now you can understand what China is. Entire Aksai Chin is now loaded with China. We did not throw them out earlier, which we should have done in May, in the beginning when they started. I'm sorry, this is the truth. But I'm happy that our present government woke up, took the initial steps very fast. We have brought in our Air Force, and we are not doing the same mistake what we did in 1962, where we refused to use our Air Force, and that's why we lost so badly. I do not know whether you know about 1962 or not. We did not know what was happening at all, no clue whatsoever. A problem is when you don't understand the strategic thinking at the government level, and you think you know, but you don't know, this happens.
Right, so now also China, in one of its state-run journals, it is contemplating to unleash its wolf warrior strategy, and that is basically about setting up diplomatic ties in a very violent way. Instead of having talks peacefully, this particular wolf warrior strategy gives China the advantage, or rather gives them the opportunity to act, or rather behave in a very objective manner and also a very violent manner. So if this sort of a diplomacy is unleashed on India, what are the kind of measures, or rather how should India counter this particular diplomacy measure, sir?
That is what I told you 15 seconds earlier.
Right.
That we are not even aggressive on media. We are not even aggressive to them. That is the problem. We don't want to even acknowledge the birthday of Dalai Lama. So we don't see, this is what is our problem. The wolf diplomacy, the wolf warrior diplomacy basically stems from the character of wolf. When in the winters the wolves surround an adversary, how they attack from all sides. This is called wolf warrior diplomacy. A movie was made on this, where the diplomats pick up the point and become so aggressive in their approach. Yeah, they use all the media, everything they use at their behest to let down the opponent. Without showing belligerency, they become belligerent. And this is what is wolf warrior diplomacy, and China is very good at it. And we are very shy of even recognizing Tibet. We should have recognized Tibet. Started their embassy straight away. Why we didn't do it? We are not even doing it. Taiwan, we should straight away call Taiwan and say, start an embassy. That's all. But we are not doing it. We are far from wolf warrior diplomacy. We are probably showing sheep diplomacy, something like that.
So what, according to you, should actually be done, sir? At this point of time, when China claims that peace is what they want, but they are transgressing into the Indian territory, what do you think that the Indian Armed Forces should do, or the Defense Ministry should do?
We are in advantageous position at the moment. Not only tactically, our forces are very strong. Now, I don't mean to be jingoistic in it. Why they are strong? That our Air Force is far superior in tactical fighting. I know it very well. Because our Air Force has done exercises with all the world countries, and everybody acknowledge, even Chinese acknowledge, that when we did the Gagan Shakti exercise, Chinese said only Indian Air Force can do similar exercise except besides America. They know it. So see, all the countries in the South China Sea, 15 to 20 navies are there now with 3 aircraft carriers and once on standby, atomic submarines, everything. We are in a position to blockade them at Malacca, and we can down into Persian Gulf. We can stop their shipping. We should have started a military action, which we delayed, but we should start pushing them out. Our aim should be to push them out. We should have actually in May, when they were occupying our land, we should have occupied 6 to 7 positions of theirs. So on negotiating table, we become strong. We missed this opportunity, but we should not now wait. We should start our military action before, but if winters come, they will settle down and it will happen like Samdrang Chong. If you know what happened in Samdrang Chong, after 1962 war, in 1967, Nathula confrontation took place.
Okay.
We showed aggression. Why? Because that time also there was a diplomacy step which should be taken, not taking arms, only jostling each other. When General Sagat Singh Rathore said, hell with this, and he tore that order and told the troops, and they took the weapons and they killed 500 Chinese. Yes, Chinese killed 50 of us, and we killed 500 of them. Then Chinese retreated. Then came the Samdrang Chong, same thing happened. We allowed them 1 winter and they stayed there for 7 winters. But 8th winter, we had to fight it and throw them out. Should we wait for 8 years? We have to throw them out now. And let me tell you one thing, when it comes to mountain warfare, Chinese are no patch on us. They are more in number, but not a patch on us. Because they don't have mountain warfare of this nature, what our soldiers do. So this is the right time to take military action. This is what I am saying.
Well, thank you, Mr. Praful Bakshi, for joining us on this live interaction. Well, there you heard it. The Wing Commander says that the Indian government and the Indian armed forces should take action right now, because he claims that the Indian forces at present are at a point of advantage, and if we don't seize the opportunity right now, then the Chinese might repeat what they have been repeating in the history. So in order to avoid that, the Indian armed forces should act immediately and act in a very stipulated manner, and also take proper measures while also enforcing their military action. With that, the Chinese have always been, making false claims and false promises of maintaining peace. And this latest report clearly shows that China is going back on its word time and again, and the world is watching. So at a time when China is already facing a lot of flack from the international, or rather the global community, this particular statement of China, when it said that India must punish the violators, it is probably referring to itself, because the violators and the violations clearly was on the Chinese side. And whether the Indian government would take action on this particular statement, or rather respond to this statement with a befitting reply or not, remains to be seen. So with that, it's a wrap on this live interaction. Until next time, please do take care and also stay safe.